Ever been baffled by the fact that a whopping 80% of Canada, a land of endless horizons, remains almost untouched by human settlements? Picture Canada, the world's gentle giant, stretching over 10 million square kilometers. An expanse that rivals the entirety of Europe, or 1.5 times the USA. Yet this colossal land is predominantly wilderness, with only a sliver, 20%, teeming with life. This brings us to a curious term: population density. It's like measuring how many people you'd bump into if you took a random walk. In Tokyo's electric streets, it's like a full-blown concert with 6,000 folks per square kilometre. In Canada, it's more like a serene hiking trail, with just 4 souls sharing the same space. Imagine this: you're in the heart of a vast field, a kilometre in every direction. In Tokyo, it's a sea of faces, a bustling crowd of 6,000. But in Canada's serene vastness, it's just you and 3 others, each lost in the immensity of the landscape. Your nearest neighbour perhaps a lonely dot on the horizon. Now don't get it twisted. Canada's low population isn't a sign of its allure fading. On the contrary, this country is a kaleidoscope of nature's finest. Rugged coasts, mountains that pierce the skies, endless prairies, and forests that whisper ancient tales. It's a melting pot of cultures, brimming with history. And the locals, they're as warm as a fresh cup of Tim Hortons coffee. So what's the deal? Why does such a stunning, inviting land remain largely a domain of the wild? We're about to unravel this mystery, blending geography, social dynamics, and a pinch of future speculation into an intriguing Canadian mosaic. Stick around, because we're about to dive headfirst into the heart of this Canadian enigma. Why is the Great White North so, well, unpeopled? The answers might surprise you. Imagine if Canada's sprawling geography was the grandmaster, orchestrating where its people live. Intriguing, right? Let's see how this land of contrasts shapes its human mosaic. Consider this: Canada, a landmass second only to Russia, boasts a geography that's a tapestry of extremes: towering mountains, endless forests, sweeping plains and rugged coastlines. But as with all great things, this diversity brings its own set of trials. The elephant in the room? Canada's formidable climate. Up north, it's a kingdom of ice, with winters that could freeze time and summers that blink by. It's not just living here that's tough. Even agriculture struggles to take root in this frost-bitten expanse. And then there's the Canadian Shield, over half of Canada under a cloak of rocky land. Rich in minerals, yes, but stingy in fertile soil and kind landscapes for farming or building. It's nature's own fortress, magnificent yet unyielding. Picture trying to connect this land from sea to frozen sea. Building roads and rail across such terrain is a Herculean task, with every mile a battle against the wild, untamed nature of Canada's heartlands. So it's not that people can't call these rugged lands home. It's just that wrestling with extreme weather, rebellious terrain and isolation doesn't quite appeal to most. Hence, Canadians cluster in the south, where the climate is friendlier, the soil more welcoming, and cities within a shout of each other. But hold on, geography is just half the story. Buckle up as we dive into the social currents that further weave this uniquely Canadian tale of population and place. Scene script. Ever wondered how the social fabric of Canada weaves itself into the country's living map? It's a story of migration, opportunity, and the search for a better life. Rewind to Canada's early chapters. European settlers, lured by the fertile embrace of the South, laid the seeds of today's bustling metropolises like Toronto and Vancouver. This was the beginning of an urban magnet that continues to pull people in. As these cities blossomed, overflowing with opportunities, they became beacons, drawing people like moths to a flame. This urban tide, swelling over time, has left these regions bursting at the seams with the majority of Canada's residents. In this tapestry, we can't overlook the original custodians of this land, Canada's Indigenous peoples. Their bond with the land is ageless, yet historical tides of settlement have nudged them towards the margins, often into more secluded realms. The urban allure isn't just about bright lights and tall buildings. It's a siren song of economic prospects, calling out to those seeking livelihoods from within Canada and far beyond. This magnetic pull, however, leaves rural heartlands quieter, often overlooked. Now, we've navigated the geographical landscapes and social currents steering Canada's population. It's a dance of nature and human aspiration, each influencing where and how Canadians choose to call home. Let's journey forward in time and ask ourselves, what does Canada's vast, sparsely populated landscape spell out for its tomorrows? First on the agenda, infrastructure. Envision stitching together Canada's expansive canvas with roads, hospitals and schools. It's like building a bridge across the stars. Ambitious, necessary, but undeniably challenging. This Herculean task of infrastructure expansion could tap the brakes on Canada's development pace. It's a marathon, not a sprint, across this great northern wilderness. Now let's talk riches. Canada's lands are a treasure chest of natural resources, but here's the catch. Tapping into these treasures across such an expanse is like a complex game of chess, balancing access and preservation with the future of Canada's economy in the balance. Yet in this vast, untamed space lies a hidden gem of opportunity. These untouched lands, rich in resources, could ignite economic wonders, charting a course we've yet to dream of. Here's where the plot thickens: sustainable development. Canada stands at a crossroads, with a chance to marry growth with guardianship. With wise policies, this land can bloom sustainably, ensuring a future that's as green as its vast forests. Canada is blessed with a wealth of natural resources. However, the sparse population and the vast geographical spread make it a challenge to efficiently extract and manage these resources. This can have implications on Canada's economic growth. But it's not all hurdles and challenges. This unique population distribution also presents some fascinating opportunities. With so much uninhabited land, Canada has an abundance of natural resources at its disposal. This could potentially fuel economic growth in ways we can't even imagine today. Moreover, this situation presents a unique opportunity for sustainable development. With the right policies and practices, Canada has the potential to strike a balance between development and conservation, ensuring a greener and more sustainable future. And that's the end of our Canadian saga, a land of untold possibilities, charting its course through a wilderness of challenges and chances. Until our next adventure, keep the spirit of curiosity alive and keep exploring the wonders of our world.